A powerful nor'easter is set to impact the entire East Coast from Florida to Maine. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justus, always giving you early warnings of severe weather, a reliable forecast you can count on, and a direct approach you won't find anywhere else. Let's get right to tracking this bad boy because I do have concerns that as this thing moves toward the north, not only does it give many of us impactful rain on Sunday, but there is the risk for tornadoes, especially in Florida today. Let me get right to the data. This is a fresh model data that came out that gets us into today as we begin to see rain take shape back through the Gulf. Now, there's a cold front well-defined back here toward the Mississippi that's scooping up this surface low. At the same time, you've got a tremendous amount of energy in the upper parts of the atmosphere. Look how advanced this system on out. Widespread heavy rain spreads into areas of Panama City Beach, Destin, toward Oklahoma, or toward Orlando, pushing into the Keys. I mean, this is going to be a rough day with possible isolated tornadoes. You got wind, you've got rain. Those wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour at times as this low begins to crank out. It looks like a tropical system. It looks like a winter storm all in one. It's a powerful nor'easter is what it is. And as it moves toward the north, look at that rain spreading into the western Carolinas by the time we get into Sunday morning. Most of us under some rain at that point. The heavy rain continues through Sunday, and this low is cranking into another gear towards Savannah, Charleston, Myrtle Beach. This could lead to severe weather along the coast in South Carolina and North Carolina. Inland toward Columbia and Greenville and Asheville, it's just heavy rain. But those winds are going to be something to contend with as this moves up toward the north. Here we are midday Sunday. I think that's the worst of the winds for areas like Greenville, Spartanburg, Charlotte, Asheville. It's going to be a windy day. Those gusts could get up to 40 or 50 miles per hour. Then this thing continues to shift into another gear up the coast through Charlotte. And look at that blue starting to show up. Yeah, snow becomes a concern for the higher elevations. It runs out of moisture a bit, but by the time we get into let me switch over to a more extended model. By the time we get into Monday night, there's another slug of moisture coming in from the Great Lakes. This thing reaches far and wide, and it grabs moisture from the Great Lakes, sends it into eastern Tennessee, into the western Carolinas, where snow will be likely Monday evening into Tuesday morning, where we could have school delays. Let's talk about those wind gusts because, folks, wind concerns me, especially when you got wet grounds. Look at these gusts showing up from Panama City Beach, 40 miles per hour. 40 to 50 miles per hour showing up in central Florida. And then look at this. By midday Sunday, we've got gusts inland toward I-85 in Greenville, upstate South Carolina, 40, 45 miles per hour, 50 to 55 miles per hour in Columbia. And look at the coastline. If you can't see it, those whites there, 65 to 70 mile per hour gusts in Myrtle Beach, Horry County, down toward Charleston. It's going to be a rough day on Sunday. The worst of it's midday Sunday for most of us in South Carolina. Hold on. That's the time you're getting out of church, going to church, doing some Christmas shopping, whatever it is you got going on. I want you to be careful as trees coming down will be a concern of mine. Power outages will be a concern. Look at this. The surface level winds along the lower elevations are beginning to drop, but look at the mountains of western North Carolina. We got 55. Anybody got 60? Okay, let's go higher. 65. I've got a 69 mile per hour wind gust showing up on this high resolution model from Boone to Asheville to Hendersonville. That will lead to power outages, and I need you to prepare for that going into Sunday night, Monday morning. And of course, that could impact schools going into Monday. How about rain totals? This is going to be a big soaking for us. Look at how this slug slings into parts of Florida here. We've got 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. Then look at it spreads into the Carolinas. This is a textbook El Nino winter storm for you here, folks, just without the cold air. Imagine if this were a month later and we had cold air on top of it. Yowza. Here we go. We've got 5+ inches of rain on I-77 east. We've got 2 to 3 inches from Greenville to Columbia to Charlotte. And then west of there, that gradient drops off to a 1/2 inch to 1 inch from Atlanta into northeast Georgia. So we'll need to watch that closely moving forward. I do see if this track holds, this is where it'll be. Now, there is the potential this wobbles a little bit to the east. That would bring some of those lower totals from Atlanta into areas like Greenville. Or if it wobbles to the west, some of those higher totals go into metro Atlanta. So I need you to be prepared for, at least some rain, but possibly more rain. Today, the severe concerns are in Florida. Tomorrow, those severe concerns, a medium risk, are from the Grand Strand up toward the Outer Banks into eastern North Carolina. And then going into day 3, this would be Monday, just a low risk for some storms toward Jersey into New York City. All right. How about the extended forecast? You've got a lot going on, whether it be another Christmas party at school or a dress-up day. You got a lot going on this time of the year. I know my family does. We're going to see this system roll through. Look at that bad boy. It's moving up toward the north. Snow cranks into gear in the western North Carolina mountains. Going to be quite wintry out there, at least Monday night through Tuesday morning. And then we break out into some dry weather most of this week. It's really tame Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Here we are Saturday night. We've got showers moving in, and it looks like by the time we get to this would be Sunday night, Christmas Eve. Santa's getting his thing on. It's got some rain in Texas, Louisiana, possibly in the Carolinas. Christmas Day, we've got showers trying to move east. So by the end of Christmas Day, we look to be wet across the East Coast, but possibly warm. And by warm, I mean relatively warm, 60 or so. All right. So I don't see widespread storms. I do see rain. I do not see a lot of snow anywhere in the eastern United States on or just before Christmas. So those chances of white Christmases going down just a bit. But when will you see snow? You remember my forecast, a bonkers winter still holds true, folks. We are in a very active pattern. El Nino is just cranking out 3, 4, 5 inches at a time of rain. Imagine when, and I do say when because we will have a piece of the polar vortex break off at some point. That'll bring in cold air that's just waiting on us. And once it's waiting on us, watch out. We're going to have that warm ocean temperature in the Gulf and the Atlantic feed moisture back into it. We're going to get at least one good snow on the East Coast, possibly more than that. And Chicago, Minneapolis, in a snow drought right now. Normally, you're just socked in with some snow going into Christmas. Nope, not right now. It's been wet and warm, but eventually you're going to change to wet and cold at some point. We're going to watch it closely for you, folks. Be safe out there with that wind and rain through Sunday. I will keep you posted. Have a good day.